Fantastic matches, too many injuries, and CM Punk getting in a huge backstage fight. What a year it has been for AEW, and if you thought I was talking about year 4 of AEW rather than year 5, I would not blame you. Time is a flat circle, and we are forever doomed to repeat ourselves. In all seriousness, year 5 has been a pretty good one for AEW on the whole. The rise of Swerve has been a massive highlight in how well AEW can make a new main event guy. All In proved to be as big a deal as Tony Khan's major announcements made it out to be, and loads and loads and loads of fantastic matches, as has become the norm for the Tony conglomerate. Double or Nothing has traditionally been our year-end milestone for AEW, and with the annual Vegas shebang taking place tonight, here we will shine a light on the best that AEW had to offer over these last 12 months. I'm Tempest hailing from partsFUNknown, and these are the 10 best matches from AEW Year 5.
Why, hello there, Peter.
No, not the fancy man, not the fancy man. Is this some kind of horrible dream?
A horrible dream? No, it's more like a horrible nightmare.
What did I ever do to deserve this?
Well, I don't know, Peter. I'm not sure you did deserve it, because you want to get tickets to this wrestling show thing. Is that correct?
Yes, it's just so frustrating because it's payday tomorrow, so I don't have the cash right now.
Well, Peter, if only you'd used Dave.
Dave Bradshaw?
I'm not lending you money, Pete.
No, Peter, not Dave Bradshaw. He may be tall, but you need something else. You need something reliable, something you can trust, something that's got your back. You need Dave, Pete. You need Dave.
Okay, so what's Dave?
Dave is the banking app that's leveling the financial playing field. When you download Dave, you can get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less. No credit check, no late fees. It's part of Dave's extra cash account. Advance the money you need with no interest and then settle up later. So why don't you download Dave now at dave.com/partsFUNknown. That's dave.com/partsFUNknown. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Eligibility criteria and instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve. Member FDIC.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to use it. I mean, it's so much better than the last Dave I used.
Oh. Just because Dave's tall doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings, Pete. Now wake up!
No. This deal's too good. I don't want it to be a dream.
Honorable Mention, Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door 2023 was bloody brilliant, and I will never forgive myself for not flying home 1 week earlier to see it. As this is a joint production between AEW and New Japan, this gets its own honorable mention here, but there is a lot of honor to be mentioned between the Shibata, Sabre, Garcia, and Cassidy 4-way, the Elite BCC 10-man tag, the Bryan Danielson Kazuchika Okada dream match, and of course the epic rematch between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega that, had I seen live, would have been the best match I'd ever seen live, and could have easily challenged for the top spot on this list. Number 10, MJF vs. Kenny Omega, Collision, October 28th, 2023. The latter half of MJF's AEW World title reign has not received particularly good reviews, what with all the wackiness of the Jay White Full Gear match and the year-long Brochacho's storyline ending with a whimper that has still yet to be resolved. But despite this, no one can take anything away from one of the best AEW World title matches of all time between MJF and Kenny Omega on the October 28, 2023 episode of Collision. You certainly would have thought that the first time ever matchup between these two would have had a bit more build-up, but Omega defending his record of longest title reign is as good a reason as I need to see this phenomenal f***ing wrestling match. This was not just some TV title defense. This was MJF pulling out the Fosbury flop, Omega hitting a doctor bomb through a table, and some of the most heated wrestling you will see anywhere all year. A lot of people have forgotten just how brilliant a performer MJF is, and hopefully when he returns, we will see more of what we got here. Number 9, Toni Storm vs. Thunder Rosa, Dynasty. AEW's women's division in year 5 definitely had the most attention it has ever had with the arrival of Mercedes Moné, the emergence of Willow Nightingale as a star, and of course timeless Toni Storm. Between sticking her tits out and throwing her shoe at people, Toni has had a stranglehold on the AEW women's title this year, and while that has led to many an entertaining moment, there has been difficulty in striking a balance between this goofy character and great wrestling, with the major exception of this match at Dynasty. Both Tony and Rosa had fantastic promos the week of the show to drive up interest, and then they wrestled the kind of match that Tony had been missing as champion. This match is white, hot, intense. The hockey fight, the actually heated run-ins from Mariah May and Deonna Purrazzo, the kick out of the Storm Zero. I don't know how many fans thought there was going to be a new champion on this night, but St. Louis was rocking for the best women's match of AEW's last 12 months. Number 8, Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. All Out. Orange Cassidy's first reign as international champion will go down in history as one of the best mid-card title reigns ever, and a run that good deserved the best possible ending. What happened after that was highly unfortunate, but we'll just ignore that. After months and months of wear and tear and new injuries causing him strife, Orange finally found himself in a fight he might not be able to win. Taking on AEW's ace, Jon Moxley, in any condition would make for a difficult fight, much less in the state that Orange was in, but it made for an even better story. Moxley juiced that blood orange dry, but Orange would just not quit until several Death Riders finally put him down. The story of the champion wrestling every match until they have literally nothing left in the tank is one of my personal favorites in wrestling, and AEW did it to perfection while also combining it with the story of the wrestler who cares about nothing finally finding something to care about. Brilliance. Number 7, Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks. All Out. On the very same show, we got the blow-off match to the summer-long rivalry of Ricky Starks and CM Danielson. That's right, there's no CM Punk here and there never was. When CM Punk threw his latest fit and got himself tossed out of AEW, that left Ricky Starks in a very unenviable position as the man he was supposed to be wrestling in a strap match at the very next pay-per-view. Thankfully for all involved, Bryan Danielson was right there and able to step into this spot and have the match of Starks' life. Not to be confused with the strap matches of the red light, green light variety, this was a violent and brutal match that saw Danielson busted wide open and beat Starks down in a blaze of gore and glory. I can't imagine a better replacement match in the history of wrestling, and if you can think of one, by all means drop your recommendations in the comments. Number 6, Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Wrestle Dream. Sticking with the theme of Bryan Danielson is a very good wrestler actually, here we have the long-awaited technical wrestling dream match between the American Dragon and the Vegan Hydra. Wrestling is so f***ing cool. At the very first Wrestle Dream event held in Danielson's backyard, the two greatest technicians of this generation did battle, and it was exactly what you would have wanted it to be. Two masters of their craft. Two mat wizards capable of making the sometimes less exciting art of grappling and mat wrestling the most heart-pounding experience possible. Like, you know how Kurt Angle could counter any move into the ankle lock? It's awesome, everyone loved it. Now imagine being able to counter any move into any move at any time, and also both guys can do it. That's this match, and I love it to pieces. Number 5, FTR versus Bullet Club Gold. Collision, July 15th, 2023. The yearly FTR 2 out of 3 falls match that tides the hardcore tag fans over for another year. In the early days of Collision, the show needed a contender for the best match in its short history, and after a fantastic first match on the 4th episode that could also be a strong contender for best Collision match, FTR and Bullet Club Gold went 58 minutes in what is still the best match Collision has ever seen. To say they went all out would be an understatement, and we've also already talked about All Out, tee-hee. But truly, this match just has it all. Fantastic psychology that we have come to expect from matches with these 4 wrestlers, brutal wrestling in the crowd, fan service galore. It is the best tag match of 2023 and would be the best tag match of most years as well. I mean, it's FTR wrestling in the home of Bret Hart. You could have seen this performance coming from space. Number 4, Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita, Revolution. If there was an 11th spot on this list, it would be reserved for Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita. Much of his run as a heel has been a bit directionless, as he's blended into the background of the Don Callis family, with the exception of literally any time he's gotten to have a singles match. Enter his match with the newly signed Will Ospreay at Revolution. Every year there seems to be one match that I end up watching like 3 times in the first 48 hours of it happening. Last year, it was Omega versus Vikingo. This year, it was this match. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone wanted to see it. Every move done with precision, yet still looking like they were absolutely killing killing one another. I mean, judging by the marks on Will's back after the brainbuster in the ropes, they very well might have been, but my god, Will Ospreay is 100% dedicated to having the best matches possible in AEW, and that dedication matched with his unparalleled ability means he will be a frequent factor in these lists for years to come. Number 3, Sting and Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks, Revolution. On the very short list of the greatest retirement matches of all time, this match will forever place very close to the top. Some out there, myself included, had been hoping for a straight-up tag match to close out Sting's career, to give him a chance to get one last brilliant hot tag, and all the tremendous drama and psychology that comes with such a thing. But my god, did they ever take full advantage of this tornado tag stip. You had Sting's very tall, very athletic sons making everyone wonder why they hadn't considered a career in wrestling, some of the best heel work of the Jacksons' latest run, and I mean, I leave it for last out of respect more than anything else, Darby Allin's stupidest stunt ever. It's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen in a wrestling match. And goddamn did I have fun watching it. Sting got to make his comeback, stand triumphant, and go out on his own terms. And I know I'm not the first to say it, but Tony Khan's booking of Sting will be his legacy, showing a legend the respect and dignity he deserved until the very end. Number 2, Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland, Full Gear. Over the course of 2023, Hangman Page became the new face of the Texas Death Match between his Revolution bloodbath with Jon Moxley and then this match. It may not be for the squeamish, and it may do a little too much for the true blood fans out there, but Hangman and Swerve solidified their rivalry as the best in wrestling right now with this match. We knew they could have a great wrestling match after their clash at WrestleDream, but at Full Gear, they showed just how violent they were willing to get with one another. It wasn't just the barbed wire and the blood drinking though. This match is just straight vibes. There's an energy to it that you only get when you're watching two guys that are motivated beyond belief. Swerve has been one of the most motivated wrestlers on the planet for a long time now, and this will always be the match that people point to when looking for the moment that Swerve became undeniable. And number 1, Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson, Dynasty. There is a short list of the best wrestlers of this generation going around at the moment, and on it, you will find the names Omega, Okada, Danielson, and Ospreay. Now, you may think that there are some names missing from that list, but regardless, that is an elite group. And elite really is the operative word because all 4 of them have found their way to All Elite Wrestling, meaning they can all have matches against one another. The first example since Will Ospreay signed his deal came at Dynasty between Ospreay and Bryan Danielson, and I don't think I have ever seen a better match held on American soil. This is the best versus the best. The moves are always good, the story is always good, the crowd and the commentary are always good, and it makes this match so f***ing exciting. I could list every single thing they did in this match and it would never come close to doing it justice. So I'll just say, remember Danielson kneeing Ospreay out of midair and let that feeling carry you to watching the whole thing all over again. Good luck topping this one, 2024, and speaking as a fan who loves to see great wrestling, I certainly hope you do. And that's our list. Make sure, of course, that you like this video, subscribe, enable notifications, all that good stuff, and check out this clip from last week's list here. Crown Glory. Yes, indeed, it has come time for another edition of WWE's oldest and most polarizing tournament. Who shall be the one to wear the crown in this new era in which we live? And will it carry with it glory, prestige, and title shots? Or will it bring forth a curse of awful booking like so many before? Triple H is getting a lot of praise these days, but will the King of Kings nail the King of Rings?